They kicked her out like garbage, but fate was watching. Now she walks through the same streets wearing gold, and the same people who mocked her whisper her name with awe. This is Abeni's story. In the dust-swept town of Karumo lived Abeni, a soft-spoken orphan who had known more rejection than rest. She slept behind the washing shop where she worked, using folded uniforms as a pillow and old newspapers as warmth. The town moved past her like a ghost. To them, she was just that laundry girl. But to Abeni, survival was victory. One morning as she poured a tin cup of Gary and water for breakfast, fate knocked hard. A woman in a bright yellow designer gown barged in, her perfume slicing the air. They collided. Water splashed. The woman screamed. "Are you blind?" she snapped, staring at the wet stain on her imported lace. "I'm sorry, please let me clean it," Abeni begged, already on her knees. "Don't touch me, filthy thing," the woman hissed. That woman was Lu Yanda, fiancé of the shop's biggest client, and she wasn't done. She stormed into the owner's office, voice raised. Minutes later, the shopkeeper called Abeni out. "You've always worked hard," he said, avoiding her eyes, "but I can't lose her fiancé's business. I'm sorry. Please, I sleep here. I eat here. I have no one," Abeni whispered. "You have to go." Tears streamed silently as Abeni packed her torn mat in a plastic bag of clothes. The sun hadn't reached noon, but her world had collapsed. She wandered the streets, dust clinging to her ankles, eyes darting for shelter. That night she curled up in an uncompleted building, concrete floor, no roof. She whispered, "God, if you can hear me, I'm not asking for much. Just one more chance." Morning came with shouting. Construction workers entered the site and found her sitting quietly. "I'm not a thief," she said. "I just needed somewhere safe. Please let me work. I'll carry cement. Anything." They laughed. "This is not a job for women," one muttered. "I'm not just a woman," Abeni said. "I'm desperate." The site manager, a kind older man named Mulimu, agreed. "We'll ask the boss when he arrives. If he says yes, you can try." The boss arrived in a navy suit and safety boots, Ayotunde Asare. Young, wealthy, no nonsense. As he inspected the site, he noticed Abeni carrying bricks bigger than her arms. "She asked to work?" he asked, surprised. "Yes, sir," Mulimu replied. "We thought she'd quit by noon. She's still going." Ayotunde called her over. "You think you can keep up?" "I don't think. I must," she answered, eyes locked on his. "Then start tomorrow," he said. She worked like her life depended on it, because it did. She lifted, mixed, swept, fetched. The men watched in disbelief. "She works like she's running from something," one whispered. "She's running towards something," said another. One afternoon, Ayotunde arrived unannounced and saw Abeni working, covered in dust but focused. "What's her story?" he asked. "She sleeps at the back of the site," Mulimu answered. "No family, no place. But sir, I've never seen grit like hers." Ayotun called her over again. "You can't keep doing this." "Please don't fire me," she said. "This job is all I have." "I'm not firing you," he replied, "but you won't sleep on concrete anymore. Come with me." She hesitated, confused. "You'll work as a cleaner in my house. My auntie runs the place. You'll have a room, food, safety." "Why would you help me?" "Because I've seen your spirit, and I don't ignore strength." At his mansion, Abeni was welcomed coldly by Ayotunde's fiancée, Zikona, a beautiful woman with a temper sharp as glass. "She will not eat with us," Zikona hissed. "She stays out of sight." "She's staff, not a prisoner," Ayotunde replied. But Zikona wasn't done. She started tormenting Abeni in quiet ways. "You didn't sweep properly," she'd snap. "Don't touch the food unless I say so." One night, Ayotunde found Abeni sitting silently with an empty plate. "You haven't eaten?" "Madam says I should wait till leftovers," she said, eyes lowered. Ayotunde's jaw clenched. "You eat what I eat. From now on." Zikona was furious. "You're softening for that maid?" "I'm treating her like a human being," he replied. But Abeni never disrespected Zikona. One evening when Zikona came home drunk from a party and collapsed at the door, Abeni was the one who carried her, cleaned her, and cooled her fever. The next morning, Zikona dumped water on Abeni's head. "Don't touch me again," she screamed. Ayotunde saw the commotion. He pulled Abeni aside and said softly, "You have more dignity in silence than most have in words." Weeks passed. Slowly, Ayotundi saw more than just a maid in Abeni. He saw her compassion, her strength, her quiet fire. And Zikona saw it too, and hated it. She cooked up a final trap. One evening, she accused Abeni of poisoning her noodles, screamed so loudly that the house shook. Ayatuna rushed in. "She tried to kill me," Zikona cried. "I didn't," Abeni sobbed. "I would never." To prove it, Abeni took the bowl and ate it. Minutes later, she collapsed. She woke up in the hospital. Ayotuna sat beside her, his eyes red. "You're safe," he whispered. Zikona laced the noodles. "I saw the security footage. She's gone. I sent her away." "Why did she hate me?" Abeni asked. "She hated your light, because I never saw hers." Weeks passed. Abeni healed, but Ayotundi's heart had already changed. One rainy evening, he sat beside her. "You've survived fire, betrayal, and cruelty, and still, you smile." "I smile because I'm not where I used to be," she said. "I don't want to lose that smile," he replied. "Abeni, will you marry me?" She stared at him, stunned. "Sir, no more, sir. I want to build with you. I want your strength beside mine." Tears filled her eyes. "Yes, I will." The wedding was small, intimate, and filled with those who knew her struggle. And as Abeni stood in a soft white dress, eyes full of light, she wasn't just a bride. She was proof that the world breaks the weak, but crowns the kind.